FIFA is preparing to put a price on the business behind the World Cup. The number is $20 billion. FIFA wants to place its commercial rights and tournament operations inside a company called FIFA Forward Enterprise. Private investors could buy up to 20%. UEFA's response was immediate. It is not FIFA's to sell. But the most important part of this story is not the sale. It is the vote. FIFA's 211 member associations are being asked to approve it. If it passes, each could access as much as $20 million in immediate funding. Their regular 4-year development allocation would also rise from $8 million to $20 million. That is not proof of a bribe. The money is public, intended for football projects, and distributed through FIFA programs. But it creates a question FIFA has never been able to escape. When leaders seeking approval also control the money, how independent is the vote? Start with what FIFA is actually proposing. FIFA is a Swiss non-profit association. It sells rights around tournaments, such as the World Cup, then distributes part of the revenue to its members. Infantino's plan would combine those rights and FIFA's event operations inside a new subsidiary called FFE. FIFA values that company at $20 billion. It says it could raise up to $4.2 billion by selling minority, non-controlling interests to outside investors. FIFA says it would keep board control and exclusive authority over rules, competitions, and the match calendar. Investors would have no operational role, and all net benefits would return to football. This is not the sale of FIFA. It is the sale of part of the machine making money from its tournaments. And there is a serious argument in its favor. For a small association, $20 million can build training centers, fund women's teams, educate coaches, and keep grassroots programs alive. FIFA says its Forward program has made $5.1 billion available during Infantino's presidency. Under the new proposal, total development funding could exceed $10 billion over the next 4 years. If investors add expertise while FIFA keeps control, the plan could raise more money without changing the game. But private investors do not contribute billions of dollars as charity. They still need their investment to grow. FFE becomes more valuable by selling more rights, sponsorships, tickets, licenses, and events. This is where confirmed fact ends and the scenario begins. A company partly owned by private capital will probably face pressure to grow through premium ticketing, more sponsorship, expanded tournaments, or new competitions. FIFA says sporting governance will remain separate. But commercial value and sporting choices are not truly separate. More teams create more games. More games create more broadcast hours, tickets, and sponsorship opportunities. Change the calendar, and the value of every competition changes. Investors would not need formal sporting power to benefit from or lobby for decisions that create more inventory. There is no evidence these investors could select hosts, control referees, or fix matches. Claims like that would be irresponsible. The real risk is quieter. Football decisions could increasingly be judged by how much they raise the value of an asset. Unanswered questions remain. What happens when an investor wants to sell? Who could buy next? And could 20% ever become more? FIFA promises carefully selected, geographically diverse, long-term investors. UEFA says there is still too little transparency about who ultimately benefits. That distrust did not begin this week. In 2015, United States prosecutors charged FIFA officials and sports executives in a case involving more than $150 million in alleged bribes and kickbacks. Infantino was not charged. He was elected FIFA president the following year after promising reform and transparency. But concerns about independent oversight returned quickly. In 2016, reform official Domenico Scala resigned after FIFA gave its council power to dismiss independent watchdogs. Scala said a central pillar of reform had been undermined. In 2024, the Associated Press reported another retreat from reform. A restored committee system could create hundreds of expense-paid posts for officials who vote in presidential elections. None of that proves illegal conduct by Infantino. But it explains why many people suspect FIFA's old problem changed shape instead of disappearing. The old scandal involved illegal payments. The modern concern is whether grants, committee positions, and access can create loyalty without breaking the law. They can fund real projects and still make loyalty to that system rational. FIFA's democracy magnifies that power. Every member association has one vote, regardless of population or football success. UEFA represents 55 of those associations. Even if every European association opposed this deal, the other regions would still hold a large majority. The proposal needs a majority of those associations and the relevant FIFA Council approvals. And Infantino has already said that more than 200 associations have pledged support for his re-election in 2027. A pledge is not a vote, and support for Infantino does not automatically mean support for FFE. But it reveals the balance of power. If nearly every voter supports the president and the deal offers more funding, UEFA's anger may be loud, but numerically weak. If the plan passes, FIFA could raise up to $4.2 billion and start the new funding. Over time, it would likely sell more products and rights, while its bond with member associations could grow stronger. Investors would not own the World Cup. But part of its economic machine would become an asset that can be valued, bought, and eventually sold. The deal could still be delayed, changed, or rejected. Governments, sponsors, and investors can demand more disclosure or decide the risk is too high. Approval is not automatic. The central question is not whether FIFA can make more money. It has already proved that it can. The question is what FIFA becomes when the people governing football, approving the deal, and receiving the money all sit inside the same system. The old corruption scandal asked whether a vote had been bought illegally. This proposal creates a more uncomfortable question. How much influence can be purchased without breaking any rule at all? If FFE passes, FIFA will not have sold football itself, but it will have placed a price on the machine built around it. And once football becomes an asset, someone will always ask it to grow.